Welcome to my 1 week sketchbook project. That is what it is. I am trying to fill an entire sketchbook in 1 week. And as somebody who's been a working artist for 7 years and has never filled a sketchbook, I'm pretty excited about this. Day 2 was not as hard as day 1. Let's get into it. I definitely helped myself out by buying these markers for me and my kids. They're the Arctic's acrylic markers. And I figured they'd probably fill the space faster. But of course, the first thing I did was really tedious. But I filled my 12 pages, and the 12th page I actually journaled instead of made art because I was having a lot of thoughts over the last 2 days of doing this project. So I'm going to read what I wrote down to you while you get to watch this very satisfying first page that I made. My journal entry reads, I'm going to allow myself to count these pages with a moment to reflect because it is important to recognize moments, thoughts, and outcomes. And because I don't want to draw anymore. What have I experienced while doing this project for 2 days? 1, I'm not allowing myself to overthink what I should draw or how I should draw it. 2, I'm using my materials more freely and not holding myself back by trying to preserve them. 3, I seem to have one drawing each day that I really love. I pushed myself to do my best while surrounding that drawing with warm-ups and experiments. 4, I am discovering by doing, not by thinking, just putting onto the page. 5, I can see the areas I have grown. A, I used to struggle to fill a whole page edge to edge, and that is not the case anymore. B, I seem to have a stronger understanding of color theory and composition, and my drawing is better than it used to be. Okay, so let's go through that list together. Number 1, I'm not allowing myself to overthink what I should draw or how I should draw it. I actually wrote, there's a whole section about this in my Pink Eraser art book, and it's definitely something that I have grown in through my art practice and the challenges that I've given myself over the last several years. And it's really cool to take a second to recognize that I published my thoughts on a subject that I've challenged myself to grow in. For most of my life, the biggest thing that has held me back from creating art is not knowing what to draw. And to see that growth is very cool and it feels good. Okay, note number 2 was about using my materials freely. I've really been trying to teach myself to use the good stuff now. I don't have to save it for a special occasion because I am the special occasion. The fact that I'm sitting down to create is worthy of the materials that I have. And if you hold on to your materials too long, they're going to get all crusty and your pens are going to dry out. So just use them. Just dive in. Let those inks run out. Let those markers run out of ink, okay? This is a big deal. The third point, that I seem to have one drawing each day that's surrounded by warm-ups and experiments. I love the way that I broke that down just as I was jotting down these thoughts very quickly. Because there is, so far in these first 2 days, there's been one drawing that I love the most, that I really spent my time on and I put a lot of effort in. And then there's the ones that I just sat down and was like, okay, let's get going. And those are the warm-ups. And then there's the experiments. And so I feel like, is that like 3 steps? Like you start by warming up, then you make a really amazing artwork. And then you say, I wonder how I could change that. Let's do some experiments. Or I wonder if there's different colors I could use. Let's do some experiments. So I feel like there's something there. And the last thing that was really cool to recognize is that I used to have some kind of block about filling the entire page from edge to edge. And it was really like a psychological block that I worked really hard to fight. And I have realized that I've really won there. It was not hard for me to fill the pages. Okay, now you get to see everything that I made. Let's do the tour. First of all, I started with the stripes because when you get new colors, you've got to do like a swatch card, right? And so I really had fun doing that. This one was wanting to really discover what these brush pens could do, and so I played with texture. I had a dream to do another one just as good. Hated these, so I outlined them and hoped that they would get better. I'm not sure. This is my D&D character. I have been wanting to sketch her out, and I did it in the style that my kid has been drawing in, and then I brought her to life. I sent this to my D&D group, and they loved seeing that. And then when in doubt, draw flowers. Always draw flowers. I love drawing flowers. This one was cracking me up because I was thinking about all the stuff that was just running through my head constantly as I was drawing. This one, I made all the yellows. I loved them. I outlined them in purple and it pissed me off. Okay, and then my neighbors put off fireworks and I wanted to draw croissants as soon as I saw the fireworks. I don't understand, so I wrote about how weird that was. Greens, I love them. Leaves, I love them. Very Animal Crossing. This was the second to last one, and this is a question for myself. Literally, why am I making myself do this challenge? And then on the last page, I gave myself permission to write down all the thoughts that I've had while doing this project because I just didn't want to draw another picture. And you saw what I wrote about that because I read it to you. And then it's today, day 3. So I will see you all tomorrow when I have finished 12 more pages of this sketchbook. Hopefully I can do it. I might have to take it to D&D today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it's already very satisfying seeing these pages get all wrinkly and full of art and thoughts and ideas. See you tomorrow.